I keep going, I keep going, I keep going. Did you give up? I keep going. Hello again, all of you inquisitive minds and beings of a higher intelligence. Here we are once again at the Rapology Show slash HMTV Media Source, where we'll soon be blending TV with radio, vying through Rapology and the lovely Miss Sugar Trash. So today we're going to take a little tour and just show you what we got planned for 2024, the year of the open door.
We are entering into Studio A.
And Studio A is where we will soon be making magic happen. Yes, if it be the will of God, we will not only be making magic happen, but we will have our blue-haired media friend to just make this thing really become what God has intended it to be. And that is something good is about to happen.
And
Yes.
Rapology.
Oh, Rapology. Oh, that's nice. Look at there. Wow. So as we're interviewing and actually shooting people, we can actually see ourselves and our expressions and all that good stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Rapology friends, how are you? Yes, we will soon be here going live in 2024, buying through our blue-head friend, Miss Sugar Trash. Yeah.
Tuning in to Something Good is About to Happen. I am Dr. Sugar Trask. And Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to everybody that is viewing in on today's show. I have a return guest, Lady Jennifer. And I want to thank you for coming on. I know you had to go through that traffic. Houston traffic, it ain't nothing to play with, especially at 5 o'clock. But again, welcome back, welcome back. Now, this time, she is going to share with you her company, what she's doing, what she needs, how she got started. She's going to tell her full story of where she is, where she was, and where she is today. And she needs you to jump on board to support what she is doing with the awakening. So welcome, welcome, Jennifer. All right, start wherever you want to start. In the beginning, at the end, or current, past, present, or future.
Awakening started was one time I was fasting and I was just asking God for my purpose, what He wanted me to do. And He said that He was awakening some things in me. And I was like, okay, well, I understand awakening. He was awakening Jennifer, awakening her purpose, awakening her to be bold, awakening her to be confident, and then, just awakening her to go forth and help other women, young women who were similar like me, that didn't know how to speak positive things into themselves, don't know how to look at themselves and see how much they are worthy, worthy of love, worthy of self-love, worthy of just knowing who they are to Daddy God. And that's what awakening came from. So with that awakening, what I did was I started a Facebook group called Awakening with Jennifer. And I work with some young ladies that I noticed with the similarity with the things that I've struggled with in my past was with the insecurity, not knowing who I belong to or who I am. So I seen the similarity, and it was like I took them on and just start speaking positive things into them. And when I noticed that when I start speaking life and telling them how beautiful they are and how much they are loved, and it's like their eyes just got big, and I was like, oh God, this is it right here. This is what you want me to do. So that's how awakening started.
What a lovely story. Now, you talked about, and I'm quite certain there's some of the viewers that's going to see it currently, or they'll see it maybe next week or the week after. But what actually took place in your life that made you feel the negativity that you were feeling about yourself?
Well, first of all, I was abused at 4. So it started there. The negativity started at 4 when I was sexually abused,
Mm-hmm.
and it went on until I think I was like maybe I think I was like maybe I want to say around 7, 8, somewhere up in there, and not just being sexually abused, but I was physically abused as well. So growing up in a household, you never hear "I love you," you never hear that you're beautiful. You know, those things stick with you as a child. You know, as you grow up into an adulthood, even in my adulthood, I've as a teenager, let me take that back. As a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
never hearing those things from my mother, you know. So I didn't know how to love myself. Starting with abuse, I didn't know how to look at myself in the mirror and see myself as beautiful. You know, I didn't know. I didn't know how to do that. But I tell you what, one thing now that when I look in that mirror, I'll be like, "Oh, girl, that's you." When I pass by that mirror, I'll be like,
Yes,
"What is that,
ma'am.
you, girl?"
Yes,
So I
ma'am.
understand now. Yeah, so that's what it was, being abused at 4, and then sexually abused, physically abused, all the way up until, being sexually active and trying to find love and being empty and void in the inside. So, yeah, that's what it was.
Well, there's a lot of times us young women and men, young boys, I'm talking to you as well, that when we are abused sexually at an early age, it strips our identity.
Hmm.
And what we become is a machine. We become a nothing, faceless, voiceless, because a lot of times you tell somebody, they're not going to believe you because the perpetrator has already told you they're not going to believe you, so why say anything? And
Hmm.
what goes on in this house stays
Stays
in
in
this
the house.
house. And that was one of the things, being abused myself, as far as I can remember, was 4 all the way up to like 13. But you get to really believe that that's the form of love,
Hmm.
and you'll do anything to get that form of love, even though it was wrong. Even though it was wrong, we were being raped, and that's wrong. But we go ahead and either we don't say anything and live it, but then we act out with drugs, we act out with alcohol, we act out with being promiscuous, we stealing, lying, cheating, all overeating, not eating enough. So those are a lot of things that that those of you that are watching, you look for these signs and not wanting to be around the group, or either being so loud within the group that you're hiding. And we wear many, many masks. A lot of the masks that we wear, they turn into personalities. So I had 7 different personalities when I was going through the molestation, going through the rape, going through. I wasn't physically abused by parents, but I never told my parents. Well, one of them was my father, so I never told my mother because that was what I thought love was. I didn't know what rape was, but until I was like in 8th grade, and I spent the night at a friend's house, and they were talking about her sister who had become pregnant. And I thought, well, that happens to me all the time. But I wasn't going to say anything to anybody. I was just more or less listening. And, she says, well, yeah, he raped me. And I didn't know that was rape because I wasn't familiar with the terms. So when you became totally familiar with what was going on and you knew what was going on, then did you tell you and share with your mother?
Well, what happened was I have older siblings, and my sister was the one that told my mother what happened. And so from there, this is her she have to say her testimony, but from there, I think she must have told my mother a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, because the first time I don't think she believed her, but the I think she had to tell her like maybe 2 or 3 times. I'm not sure how it went, but when my mother finally found out, we end up in foster care. So yeah, we end up in foster care. So I think I was in foster care from like, well, we went with a relative at
Mm-hmm.
first, which was my stepfather's sister, and we couldn't stay there because that was his relative. That was,
And he
his
was the
family,
perpetrator.
and he was the perpetrator. Correct. So we end up going into foster care. So I think I was like, maybe I just remember like maybe in the fourth or fifth grade, and then we end up in the foster care. And in foster care, the same thing happened to me. So, it was just a pattern there. And
Mm-hmm.
then I stayed in foster care to maybe to like, I think I was like maybe 10 or 11, somewhere up in there. Then I went back home with my mother. But this time, um, it happened again, but this time it happened with my brother. But this time, instead of allowing my brother to do that to me, I fought.
Mm-hmm.
I fought him off. So that was the end of that. And then we end up not back in foster care, but we had to leave the home for a little while. And so we went to go stay with my older sibling until my brother had to leave the home. So yeah, and then with that, that turned into me just being very sexually active at a young age, like 13. I
Mm-hmm.
started have the first time I had sex was at the age of 13, not knowing, because my mother back then, your parents, I know for me, mom, we couldn't talk to her about sex. We couldn't talk to her about, the changes in our body or things like that,
Mm.
because it just felt like with my mother, it just felt like um she just she was just so abusive,
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
a way, and it was like you couldn't talk to her about anything. So I couldn't talk to her about what I was going through or what my body was doing, because I just felt like I didn't have anyone to talk to. So with the
Mm.
abuse and with that going on, it just taught me how to shut down.
Yeah.
It taught me how to shut down, taught me how to just keep everything to yourself. It's shameful. You don't talk about those things, so you keep all those things to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't talk to her about that. I remember when I got older and when I was raped, I couldn't tell her. I couldn't tell her because I felt like she was going to make it feel like that it was my fault
Yes.
that
Yes.
that the rape occurred, because I wasn't supposed to. Your parents tell you not to have anyone in the house when they're not there, and then me being the young lady that I was at that time, I invited someone into the house, and that person wasn't supposed to be there, and then it turned into him raping me. So I couldn't tell my mother that. So I carried that. That was so shameful for me to let her know that I brought somebody in the house. I had to end up, the only way she found out about that was I had to end up trying to commit suicide. I, I remember going into, my baby sister was in there, and I told her, hey, I'm about to kill myself. And she was like, stop playing. And I said, no, I am. And I went into the bathroom, and I just took a bunch of pills, and I tried to commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, but it's just a lot. I let older men take advantage of me because I didn't know how to say no,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
thought that was like, once again, I shut down. I just shut down. I didn't know how to say no. So a lot of men took a lot of older men took advantage of me.
So, in understanding viewers that you may be going through the same thing, it could be your father. It could be your stepfather. It could be your brother's friends, which happened to me many times. It could be, someone in the church. It could be the pastor in the church, the bishop in the church, anything, but find someone. Don't carry this shame around within yourself, and they're out having a great time. Mocking you and making fun of you and telling their friends about you, and you're carrying that around. If it's a school nurse, if it's you know anybody that you can speak with. It may not be your mom that you can speak with. It may not be your grandmother, but there is somebody. If you're still in school, they have counselors that you can go in, you can speak to, and they do not have to tell your parents. So that is a wide open door for many abused, sexually abused, mentally abused, psychologically abused, children. They have a program that will allow you to go in, and you do not have to disclose, or your parents will not be told unless it's something deadly. then they are obligated to share. But any on this here, when did you go back again? When did you finally recognize that you were somebody? What age did you finally, what brought you to the realization that you are somebody? Jennifer is somebody. What happened?
Oh, so what happened was I was in an abusive relationship and I got tired. Um, Once again, this is when I was like, I don't tell my age, but I know I look good for my age. But I have a 12-year-old daughter, and she was like 3 or 4 years old at that time, and I was with her father, and I just got tired, and I knew that there was more to life than me just working, coming home, taking care of kids, and being empty in the inside. Like I knew that it was more. I knew that first of all, I knew that there was a God, and he wanted more from me. And being in that abusive relationship, I just once again we like I said like a week of when I was on the show last time
Mhm.
that we got into a big fight and I got tired. I went into the bathroom floor. I got on my knees. I cried out to God and told him to come help me and rescue me because I said I can't do this anymore. And I had promised God that if he come help me, I won't go back to that type of relationship or to any type of relationship,
Mhm.
period. Once again, I didn't know what was coming out my mouth because I went to church, but I didn't grow up in church because when my stepfather was in the picture, he took us to church every single day. But
Now, is
then,
this still the perpetrator?
yeah, the perpetrator.
Okay.
But when my mom and him divorced, and when everything came out, we didn't really go to church anymore. We went, but it wasn't like how he used to take us to church. So I just knew a little bit about God, not what
Mhm.
I know now. So when God got me out of that relationship, I just constantly focused on Him and constantly focused on His Word, and He had to clean me in the inside and clear my thoughts, my mind, and my heart about how I viewed myself.
Mhm.
Because honestly, it took me a long time to look into the mirror, to see someone beautiful, to see someone that was worthy of love, to see someone that was valued. It took me a long time to see that. And so it was basically God had to do that for me, had to show me that Jennifer, you're beautiful. Jennifer, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are my good work. So it was God that had to do that for me because I didn't understand who I was or who I belonged to or who God was at that in matter of fact. Because the reason why going back, the reason why I had all of my children is because of the emptiness in me. It's because of I wanted a baby so bad for someone to love me because I didn't
Mm.
understand, I didn't have love. I was empty in the inside. And not only that, is because I wanted, to be with their father. Like, okay, well, if I have this kid from him, he will be with me and stay with me. And this emptiness that I was feeling will be filled
Mhm.
with my children or with the father that I was with at that time. Yeah.
But it didn't
But it
happen.
never didn't matter how many kids I had, how many baby fathers I had, I was never filled. I was never fulfilled in the inside. I still felt empty in the inside.
You're talking about what age? About what age were you now, and how many children at this point? And also, did the children go through any form of abuse?
My children, with the last gentleman, yes, they did go through some a form of
Mhm.
abuse with him. I took my children through a lot, um, not realizing what I was doing because you learn from what you was taught, and I thought that I love, which I do love my kids,
Mhm.
but God had to show me that wasn't love. The love that you have for them now is different from back then. That was just something that you was taught. The love for them back then was I loved them and I wanted to protect them and to nurture them as a mother, but I wasn't instilling like things of God into them.
Yes.
So that's different now because now that I know better with them, I do better with them.
Amen.
So
Amen.
my kids, yes, they went through a lot with me, through the abuse, with the last gentleman. They went through a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
praise God that the God that was inside, that is inside of you, was able to clean you up. But you said you had to cry out to him.
I had to
You had to
cry.
get on that knee. You had to get on that floor. You had to get on that ground. You had to do all of that to just even, and that took a lot to even be able to tell God, I can't do this anymore. You have to help. And see, that's one thing about God. He'll let you go through whatever you're wanting to go through until you call upon his name. But you've got to be understand when you go through that and you call upon the name of the Lord and you say, Jesus, help me, you've got to be ready to be helped. He's not going to help you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're back out there again, or you find him back again. You go back with him again, knowing what's going to take place. When she was serious, that was the question that was asked: what took place? And you have to get serious about this. You are not created to be a punching bag. You're not created to be abused mentally, physically, psychologically, spiritually, verbally, or financially. That's not why you were created. You were created in the likeness. And so you are worthy. You are righteous through Christ Jesus. And so when you get desperate enough and you cry out, so now how long, how many years, or how many children did it take for you to just go ahead and say, all right, I'm tired of being alone?
Oh, oh man. On the number 8, yeah, I had to be like, okay, I'm tired. I'm just
Uh-huh.
tired. And that's when I cried out to God. And then just to back up what you just said, that yes, we are not punching bags. That is true. We are not punching bags. But some of us take that as love
Oh, yes. Oh,
because
yes.
I thought it was love at first. Like, okay, God, well, he didn't hit me. He don't love me. But that's not love. That is not love whatsoever. So you see, my mindset was
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, I thought maybe if he hit me, if he hit me, that means he loved me. When that's not love because my mind was not right.
Speak to the viewers right now, Lady Jennifer, and let them know that is false love. That is deception.
Yes.
Just to be loved, you go through these things. That's not right. And you're giving the perpetrator, you're giving your abuser authority. You're giving him open reign. Do to me what you want to do to me because I know you love me. No, wrong, wrong. Speak to that.
Yeah, that's when if a perpetrator have to hit you, a man or anybody putting their hands on you, that is not love. That is not love whatsoever. I feel like that you need to, just get away, remove yourself from that situation, get in a place with God, hide yourself with God, because that's what I had to do. I had to hide. I asked God to cover me. I asked God to hide me. I asked God, do not release me out of his presence until he is ready to release me. Go and get you some help. Get in the presence of God and don't look back. Don't look back and go back. I don't care how old you are, because I know some of us, we look at men as women. We look at men as having, we see good men. We think that they are good and they have potentials, and then we want to work with that. Well, that's not our job. God did not give us that to change a man or to pour into the man. It's the other way around. A man is supposed to pour into a woman. A man is supposed to find you in the presence of God. So I feel like, we get it when we get a certain age and we start our minds start playing tricks on when we allow the enemy to play tricks in our mind that no one is gonna love us because we're old, and then we start to settle. That's not God plan for you. God don't want you to settle. God wants you to wait on him, because he's gonna bring you that man that he has already predestined for you.
but he's gonna change.
No.
Oh, he's gonna start going to church.
Mm-mm.
Oh, he loves me. He told me he loved me. Oh, he told me he'd never hit me again. Well, what about
Oh, I've been there.
that?
Been there, done that. What I did was take him to church. I dragged him to church because once again, we see potentials. We look at the potentials of a man. We look at, okay, God, if you fix this man, I know that he be a good man. Okay, God, you work on him. I see the goodness in him, but he don't see it, so I'm gonna try to help him. It don't work like that. God did not program us as women to pour into the man. We helps him. We are his helpmeet. The man is the one that's supposed to pour into us. So if he's beating on you and hitting on you and you still want to drag him to church, I personally say, don't do that. Don't do that. Let God, you get yourself together and allow God to deal with that person. Allow God to deal with them and allow God to deal with you, to restore you in those places where you're hurting, to restore you in those places where you are still wounded because you're still traumatized and you're still wounded. Allow God to heal you in those places.
Now, besides God healing you, did you go to any other therapy? Did you get any other therapy for the children that was traumatized by watching you be abused? And another abuse, that verbal
Oh,
abuse,
yeah.
can tear. They say sticks and stones might break my bones, but words would never help hurt me. Oh, no, 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 no. Whoever created that statement there was an abuser. He was an
Yes.
abuser, and they got that planted in our head. Oh, you can say anything you want. Don't hurt me. Don't speak about that. Words hurt. Words
Words
will
hurt.
kill.
Yeah, words hurt because that was my mother's thing, was her words. And it's like, oh my goodness. I mean, to this day I remember one thing that she said to me, and I keep saying, what, I can laugh about it now. The
Uh,
thing that she always called me, she always said, you know, you when she get mad, she used to call me this word called a flounder fish. And I was like, what's a flounder fish? Now that I can laugh about it, because it's like, what's a flounder fish? What is that?
uh,
But words hurt. Those are the things that you got to realize, especially when you saying those type of things to a young child. Those things sticks with a child, you know, and that was a learned behavior that I learned from my mother, was the words, not knowing that you are putting a curse on me when you speak those negative things to me, not knowing that's what I was doing to my kids. So when my kids got older, I had to take each and every last one of them and apologize to them and ask for their forgiveness. And yes, I did take them to therapy and counseling, and and then I had to take them back because they're in there now, in therapy. We all are,
mhm,
in
mhm.
there. Yes, but I did have to go back and apologize to each and every last one of them for everything that I've done, especially for the last relationship with the physical abuse and the verbal abuse, because that one was, ooh, yeah. I almost lost my mind with that one, but I thank be to God. It was only God that kept me, that kept my mind. So I had to go back and apologize to them.
I hope you're hearing what Lady Jennifer is saying. I hope you take it to heart because the damage that you've done, and you don't want your children to repeat what you've been through. You don't want that son of yours to become the abuser.
Hmm.
You don't want that son of yours to become the perpetrator. You don't want that daughter of yours to become the victim. So go back, apologize. I don't care if you're 70 and your daughter is 50. Go back and apologize for what you allowed to happen in the home, outside the home, growing up. Just apologize. And that way, that opens this 2024 is the year of the open door. And you want the door of love. I don't want to just be tolerated. I want to be celebrated in love, God's kind of love. And the only way to get that type of celebration is to all those that have harmed you, all of those that have hurt you, all of those that have abused you, misused you, lied on you, slandered your name. You just say, Father, I forgive them all. For those that are living, bless them, Lord. And for those that are deceased, may their souls rest in peace. Because some of those perpetrators, Lady Jennifer, they're in torment. Those that have passed on, they're in torment. They're being tormented for what they did. Whatever age they were acting out, they were doing what was done to them, they were doing what they knew, but you have to forgive them so their souls can be at rest. And when you went to your daughter, when you went to your children individually, that was the greatest open door to have communication and love with your child. So that child having children don't have to go back through everything they had to live through, but they've learned it. And y'all are learning it together. And you're still learning it because God's not finished with you yet. This is awakening. So tell us a little bit more about this awakening program that you have, how they can contact you, connect with you, and what are you looking for? How can the viewers help you?
Well, with awakening is once again, I'm speaking life into the individual, to the young adult, the young lady, teaching her that just showing her that she has purpose. Because I stand on Jeremiah 29:11, that God word says, that He knows the plans and the purpose for us. So we all are here on planet Earth with something to do. We're not just here to just suck up air and just roam around aimlessly. I believe that we all are here with purpose, and I speak to the just help you just identify with what your purpose is, what you like to do, what you're passionate about. Because a lot of us, especially a lot of young women and a lot of women that I have worked with, they don't understand their purpose. They don't understand that they were called to do something here because of the trauma that they have, the trauma that they experience in life. Never hearing "I love you," never hearing those words from their family as well, their mother or father or anything like that. You know, so with that's what awakening is, just to help the individual to know that they have purpose, and to help them figure out and find out what their purpose is in life. You can find me on social media, Instagram as Jennifer Muhammad, or Facebook on Awakening with Lady Jennifer. You can reach out to me at Rapology 1985 85 at yahoo at gmail.com. You can also reach out to me at 832-542-6144 if you want to be part of Awakening with Jennifer. It's just to encourage you, to encourage the women, that you're not alone, that whatever you went through in life, we all have a story to tell. I have a story, you have a story. We are all overcomers. And that's how you can get in contact with me with Awakening with Jennifer.
What age young ladies do you start with?
I would, uh, 10 and up, 10 and up.
Oh, as young as 10.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you have any programs that you're lining up for 2024?
Well, for 2024, y'all, I will hopefully I will have my website. Well, I'm working on my website. Working on working on other things that I can do for 2024. Just activities, just a lot of other things. But everything is in the works for right now. So just when 2024 come around, Awakening with Jennifer website will be up, and you will see everything on my website.
And if somebody would like to donate or become a sponsor, is that possible?
Yeah, that's possible. Just contact me.
Okay, let's get that phone number and the website one more time. It's going to be at the bottom of your page on YouTube. It'll be at the bottom of the page, that information. But for some of y'all that may not be able to get on YouTube or whatever the case may be, say that information one more time for the viewers.
Well, you can reach me at 832-542-6144, or you can reach me by Facebook on Awakening with Jennifer. That's on Facebook, and you can just inbox me.
Okay, do you have any specialists that's working with you and your group that specialize in trauma? specialize? Is that going to be part of the program as
It
well?
it will be part of the program, but what I will do is, um, I will, I will give you somebody, direct you to somebody who works with trauma. My special therapist that I work with.
Okay.
All that will be on my website once I get it up and running.
And are you going to be holding any classes or conferences or anything like that for the group? Are you looking for to start? I mean, with your group, are you looking at something else to celebrate their issues that they're having that they've overcome?
Well, right now, what I'm going to do is just coach you through your purpose, help you and encourage you to move into purpose. In the future, in the future, I will have, like, awards and accomplishments and things like that. I just want to. My purpose is to help, just to motivate you to move forward in life.
Okay, so are you going to be working with any kind of drug counselors or any type of counselors like that if they need shelters,
If the
women's resources, to where if they need to get out of that situation, they can contact you? Are you going to be working with any organizations of that nature?
I will, in the future, yes, I will definitely be working with. I'm gonna reach out to other organizations to see if they will partner with me to help other young ladies that are in abusive situation to get out of that situation. Even with women that are on drugs or anything like that. Teen pregnancy, I'm willing to work with other agency. If any other agency would love to partner with me, once again, you can contact me at 832-542-6144. If anyone is listening to this and would love to partner with me with Awakening with Jennifer, please contact me at 832-542-6144.
That is absolutely wonderful. And she's working on a book.
Yes, I am working on a book.
So that is something that will be coming forward in 2024. It's another open door. And so I just want to thank you for taking out your time and traveling through during this rush hour traffic through the highways and byways. And I just want to thank all the viewers on the Facebook, social media, those that will see this in another 2 weeks, or those that will see this, now a little bit later or later on in the week. I want to wish everybody happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, all of the seasons. And this Jesus, remember, is the reason for the season. Until next time, be blessed.